Welcome back, children. We were talking about the verbs, right? We are talking about the finite verbs. Now we'll discuss the auxiliary verbs, right? In this video, we are going to discuss auxiliary verbs, right? Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. Note it down. Now, helping verbs, what do? First note down, they help the main verb. Auxiliary verbs help the main verb. Okay, and you can also say they are used with. They are used with main verb to define a tense or a mood. Just note it down. Right? Children, please note it down. Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. They help the main verb. They are used with main verb to define a tense or a mood. Clear? Then, children, as I told you, now the auxiliary verbs are subdivided into primary auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries. Now, I'll tell you what are primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Okay? Modal auxiliaries. Now, I'll give you an examples. First, note down all the primary auxiliaries. We'll discuss all the primary auxiliaries. And please make a note in your notebook. Everyone should copy it down. Okay. Now, example. I'll give you the example. Now, all the B forms are all primary auxiliaries. Please note down as I am writing. Now, all the B forms are like, what are the B forms? Like is, am, are, was, were. These are all primary auxiliaries. Clear? Then we have, this is B form. I'll just make it easy for you to remember. Now this will not be, just I'll put a star over here, children. All the B forms are primary auxiliaries, right? Another star I'll make for do forms. All the do forms are primary auxiliaries like do, does, did. Clear? Then next is all the have forms are primary auxiliaries. Like what are the forms of have? Has, have, had. Clear? These are all, you just have to note it down, please. Then we have, then you come to modal auxiliaries. First you note down this. B part, like modal auxiliaries. What are modal auxiliaries? Modal auxiliaries where you use modals. For example, I'll just try first you write down. These are used with main verb. So this is a helping verb I've mentioned over here. And just write here, they used with main verbs. Clear? To define a tense or a mood. Tense or a mood. Now what are these? Example, can, could, okay, will, would, shall, should. Then may, might, must, ought, dare. These are all examples of modal auxiliaries. Please note it down. And at first I'll give the example for primary auxiliaries. For example, they are playing. Take this example. They are playing. Now you can see this is subject. This is helping verb. This is helping verb and this is main verb. Clear? Now you know very well verbs are sometimes single or they can be more than one also, right? So these both are verbs, but you can identify this is helping verb and this is a main verb. Helping verbs are never with ing form. They make the tense, a continuous tense along with the main verb. So they are used with the main verb. For example, she has finished her work. Take this example, she has finished her work. So what is the helping verb over here? This is helping verb. Okay, finished becomes main verb. Clear? So, and this verb, this is, you can see, helping verb is used with main verb. Secondly, it is used with main verb to define a tense. Which tense is over here? Defines a tense. Here verb defines a tense. So what is it defining? What is helping verb defining? A tense. Which tense is it depicting? Perfect tense. It is has finished is perfect tense. You can say present perfect tense. Clear? And here it is used with main verb. Right? Hope it is clear to you. Along the points which you mentioned over here, the examples you can explain. They are playing. She has finished her work. Right? Model auxiliaries used in a sentence is you can sing. It may rain today. So what are the model auxiliaries used over here? Can, may. So I think this is clear to you. Just note it down and learn properly. And after this we are going to continue with the exercise in your textbook. Please open your textbooks. The exercises of chapter number 16. Right? Now children, this is the exercise in your textbook. Indicate whether, now children, check the exercise. Indicate whether the verbs in the following sentences are transitive or intransitive. First you have to identify whether the verbs are transitive or intransitive. Name the object of each transitive verb. If a verb is transitive, then you have to name the object, right? And the complement of each verb of incomplete predication. If the verbs of incomplete predication is there, then you have to check the complement. Is it clear? The question is clear to you? Children, I'll give you 2 minutes time. Just go through 1 to 10 sentences and try to solve it on your own. I'll wait for you and let me see how many of you can solve it, and you can cross check with my answers. Come on, solve it on your own. Clear? Now children, solve it. Hope you have solved it or not. The boy stood on the burning deck. What is the verb over here? Stood. So this doesn't have an object. It becomes intransitive verb. Stood becomes intransitive. Subir has fallen sick. Now Subir has, if we just hide this part, sick. If you just hide this sick, doesn't make sense. So has fallen becomes verb of incomplete predication, and this C is for complement. Children, the circle, this is a complement added to it. Has fallen what? So it's sick is a complement. The water is very cold. The water is verb of incomplete predication. Cold becomes very cold becomes complement. Clear? The man saw the accident with his own eyes. Saw is verb. Okay, accident is object. Over here, therefore, this is transitive verb and object is accident. Clear? The baby fell asleep. Now, baby fell. Fell is a verb. Like you can either write transitive verb, intransitive, because this is not an object. Okay, but then if the other way you see, the baby fell. What? Doesn't make complete sense. So this is verb of incomplete predication with asleep as complement. They are what? So are is verb of incomplete predication and this is complement. The rumor seems. Now this is not active verb. So therefore seem is verb of incomplete predication and this true is complement. He did not tell the truth. He did not tell. So this up till tell becomes verb, right? And what is the truth becomes transitive verb. This is object with transitive verb. They made her queen. Made is transitive verb because there are two objects here, right? These two are objects. Similarly, the boys hide their faults. Hide is a verb. Okay, their faults becomes object. So this is transitive verb. He is hiding behind the tree. He is hiding. So we don't have a direct object over here. So this is hiding is intransitive, right? We patiently waited at the station. We patiently waited. Waited is the verb at the station. So this becomes we patiently waited. So at the station is a phrase added to it. So this is verb of incomplete predication, but we cannot call it verb of incomplete. Waiting is also the active, no? So you can just write we patiently waited at the station. You can write either intransitive of verb of incomplete predication with a complement, a phrase at the station. Right? The bird flew down and took away the cheese. Flew down. Down is, this flew over here is intransitive. Flew is intransitive. Intransitive. Right? And took away. This becomes verb, transitive verb, and this becomes object. Clear? Our children like sweets. Like is our children like. If you read without sweets, doesn't make sense. So this is verb of incomplete predication with sweets is a complement. Sweets is a complement. All the verb of VIP refers to verb of incomplete predication. Remember, and C refers to complement. The peon rang the bell. Now this is subject, verb, object. So this is verb is transitive verb and this is object. Clear? This is the verb rang. The bell rang after the first pair. Rang is verb, but this is intransitive verb because it doesn't have a direct object. Every transitive verb should have a direct object, but over here we have a preposition in between. So this is not an object. Sarita sang a beautiful song. So sang is a verb and this is transitive verb with song as an object. They sang beautiful. Adjective doesn't matter. No, beautiful song becomes object. They sang well in the function. Sang is intransitive verb over here. Why it is intransitive? Because it doesn't have a object. Who has broken the window? Now over here, what is a who has broken the window? Okay, who has broken? So this verb is transitive, right? The windows broke in the arm. Now this broke is intransitive. She called her servant. Now called is transitive verb with an object, two objects over here, right? Transitive verb. So this is object, this is object. Her parents named her Pushpa. Named is transitive verb with object, two objects, right? He painted the box red. Painted is verb. The box is again object, so it is transitive verb. You look sad. Look is this is verb of incomplete predication, okay, with complement sad. Right? The milk turned sour. This is verb. There is no object over here. Sour is not an object. So here the milk turned what? So you can take it verb of incomplete predication with this complement sour. Okay. So now children, this is rewrite the sentences putting the direct objects before the indirect object. Rewrite the sentences putting the direct objects before the indirect objects. Now, Sumitra lent me her necklace. Now, lent me what? Lent me her necklace. So, this is direct object. So, you have to rewrite the sentence. And this is indirect. Lent to whom is me. So, you're going to write like this. Sumitra lent her necklace. You can write Sumitra lent her necklace to me. This is how you're going to write down in rest all sentences. You're going to solve it on your own. I'll solve this one also for you. The principal granted us leave. The principal granted what? Leave. Okay. So how will you? This is leave is direct object. So you have to put direct object before indirect object. This is indirect object. So how will you write? The principal granted leave to us. Clear? You have to rewrite the sentence. So I hope you're going to solve this on your own. Please solve it and it will be a practice to you. Clear? Next, come to this. Rewrite the sentences putting the indirect objects before the direct object. Now, Zaman told a secret to me. Okay? Zaman told what? A secret. This is, so you have to write Zaman, you have to write the other way around. Zaman told me a secret. So these transformations, children, you have to learn that how you transform one sentence to another. How can one sentence be written, right, in the other way. So this is what we are going to learn in 8th standard and make it a habit and practice more and more. Now I'll do the second one also. Ramadin's father left a huge property for his son. Ramadin's father left, just write over here. There's no space to write. You can write Ramadin's father left his son a huge property. So what you have to do? You have to put the indirect object before the direct object. This is direct object. Take it the other way at the back and you have to put the indirect object in front. Ramadin's father left his son a huge property. Clear? This is how you're going to solve the rest all exercises. And please read the chapter and solve these exercises on your own. Call a doctor for me. Okay, how will you write? Call a doctor for me. Call me. Call. You can write down. Call a doctor for me. Call me a doctor. Clear? Rest. I hope you can do on your own. Smoking does great harm to one's health. Smoking does one's health a great harm. Smoking does one's health a great harm. I'm underlining this. You're going to write this way. Smoking does one's health a great harm. They promised their help to us. They promised us their help. Their help. Now children, I've left this for you to do on your own. Rest you can complete this on your own.